Hi, I'm Jason Meers, and this is a series of videos around business value. They've been created with Tor from advisory services in VMware, and this particular video is going to be around the value pyramid.
So whereas the value chain sort of tells you about specific projects and the operational status of what the customer is actually doing, then the pyramid breaks down the strategic goals of the customer into business initiatives and bottlenecks and things they need to overcome, and then down to the technology that they need to implement in order to achieve their strategies. So if I were to take the retail example and look at what it could look like, and this here is completely an example, so no specific customers in mind, but let's look at the pyramid. So the top level of the pyramid, that's basically the owners. What do they want from this company that they own? And it doesn't really matter if it's a hospital and you're talking to the Minister of Health, or it's a retailer and you're talking to the shareholders or the board, or if it's a manufacturer who's making isolation products. There's always an owner somewhere who sets the high level goal. What is it we're trying to do, and why do we even exist? So for the supermarket, the owners could say something like, grow sales 5%. That could be a demand from their side. It could also say that they think, well, we are actually the greatest retailer in Europe. But we can see that there are a bunch of countries that we don't exist in already. So the demand could also be expand into 3 countries. That could be very high level goals. This could be something that the owners want. We have invested in this supermarket chain. We want money out of it. That's the highest level. So the next level of the pyramid, that's the C-level people. So here you have the CXOs, and what they are looking to is that they have something inside of them that they want to, and it's their job to meet the demands of the owners while staying out of jail. So all that stuff that comes around with GDPR and data protection and compliance and so on, that typically sits with the C-level people. They are really worried because if something goes wrong, they are the ones who's going to wear an orange jumpsuit and sit in jail cell somewhere. So they want to meet the goals of the owners while they're keeping themselves out of trouble. So they would be looking at, okay, we want to grow 5%. So what would we do? So we could improve marketing without knowing exactly how they would do that, but they could require that from the marketing team. And they could open new stores to say, well, if we have more stores, we would probably grow our revenue. So those could be goals at the C level. As they want to stay compliant, that is the goal of the C-level, stay compliant. And you could also have something like, we know that there's a threat. I remember I was working in some of the bigger European countries where Amazon have opened up stores. So you could basically also have a goal here saying protect against Amazon online. That would be a typical goal for your CXO level, saying, well, we know that we have some opportunities and we know we have some threats, so let's try to address these somehow. So if you look at the next level, where you basically have the mid-level management, this is where you have your business initiatives. So how are we going to actually carry out these things how are we going to carry out the goals of the CXOs? And so if we want to open up stores, we need to buy land. That's something they need to do. So that's got nothing to do with us as VMware, but it's important for us to be aware of the things that are happening inside our customer. Where are they focusing? What's happening to them? In which direction are they going? They could also be looking at, well, stay compliant. That could be that they would need some new processes in place, and and that's something where we might be able to help. So new processes, that means you need to digitalize. Okay, so what you need to digitalize, how can we help you? We have some APIs, we have mobile, we have all sorts of mobile workplaces, work anywhere, phone, so on, so on. So we could start help you with the processes, but it's still way too early to talk about that. But if they want to open up new stores, they could also be looking at this saying, well, we do have an issue because every time we want to open up a new store, it takes us 3 months to put in the IT. So there could be a goal here saying, open stores faster. That could be a great focus area. I mean, if you sell for €1 million worth of goods in your store every day, so if you open it up faster, that means a lot more money and a lot faster return on investment for these new stores. So anything that cuts preparation time for a new store away, that is really appealing to the customer. So maybe they also want to venture into completely new areas because they want to protect against Amazons. That means maybe they want to improve home delivery services. Maybe they don't have that, but they want to introduce it. So that's a big question. How do we then create some kind of home delivery service? So that's sort of it. So those are the business initiatives where you can say, so the owners want to grow 5%, they want to expand into new countries. So what do the CXO level look at? They want to set up initiatives where you open stores and you protect against Amazon and improve your marketing. So business initiatives that could be buy land, your internal processes you want to digitalize maybe so you can better compare data and target your customers. So you want to open stores faster and you want to create home delivery. So we sort of, with these initiatives, we've targeted all this stuff that happens at the CXO level. And then we have that next level. That's basically every project team, everybody who's actually carrying out the work. What are they facing? What is difficult for them to do? What are the obstacles for them? And here is a unique position where we can say, well, we are VMware. We're not going to help you buy land, but you know what? We have a lot of stuff around automation and so on. So you need to automate, you need to integrate IT in order to digitalize. Maybe you need, when you want to open up stores faster, you need a data center in a box. Maybe that would help you. It's stuff that we can present to them and say, well, if you don't have this, you're going to fail on these upper levels. And so this here bit called critical capabilities, that is really critical to VMware to be able to go in and position ourselves as the ones who are going to make this whole adventure possible. So if we look at what they want to do, we want to automate and integrate IT. We know we can do that. Data center in a box, well, you're going to do that if you want to open stores faster. We can help with that. You know, home deliveries, that might require that you have some new apps, new websites that are scalable, you know, depending on what offers, what special offers you have, what you're advertising, and so on. So all of these things are critical capabilities for the IT department. Of course, it's a critical capability that you engage with real estate agents, but that's for the buying land stuff. And again, it's not us, but you know, if you tell the customer, we know you have this challenge, they will also go, oh, wow, you really understand our business. Thank you very much. We are IT. We don't care about real estate. No, we understand that. So let's talk about IT. So we can look at all this and say, so critical capabilities would be to automate IT, integrate IT, build a data center in a box. We need to develop new apps and new websites. Again, this is stuff they need to do. There is no mention of VMware, but here we can then start talking here and say, okay, what is it that IT needs to deliver? What capabilities do you need from IT in order to meet all the demands from these four upper levels? Well, we need a private cloud, because that's how we wish to do it. You probably want to be able to expand into some kind of multi-cloud situation. You tell the customer, if you want to do all this, you probably want to have this, right? That would be good for you. And the customer would go, oh, wow, yeah, that's really cool, because this here would actually lead to faster development cycles. And so on. And you could then continue talking about this and say, okay, new apps. Okay, so maybe for the apps you need maybe you need some faster infrastructure, which is sort of the private cloud, but maybe you also need some new methods or some input, and so that you would be able to see things in a new light and develop faster and so on. And then we just look at them and say, dear Mr. Customer, you know what? We're VMware. We don't do supermarkets. We don't know anything about moving carrots from A to B. But you know what? We have some people here called the pivotal team. They can help you basically create this here new methodology. The infrastructure thing, you know what? There's this very modern thing called Tansu, where we can help you manage this infrastructure faster. We also have multiple tools for your cloud journey, so we can help you move things into the cloud or build things faster in the cloud, and help you keeping them updated and maintained, so you don't have any delays when you're handling stuff that is in your multi-cloud environment. So basically what you've done here is that you've taken the wishes of the owners, of the customer, and then you have broken them down all the way through the layers of the organization down to how can VMware help you achieve your goals as a supermarket by improving your IT. And if you take this stuff that comes out, this knowledge, if you take the knowledge that you get out of doing this strategic analysis of your customer, and then you look at how it compared to the value chain that we built, it's fairly easy to say, here's a very small value chain, and you can look at this and you can say, well, you know what? And well, you know what? We can look back at the value chain and say, looking at these goals of the organization, we're back to we wanted a consumer app. We're back to we want to digitalize the way that we do procurement and the way we do handle data in the headquarters. And by the way, our development team, they are still in need of having some kind of help with developing their apps, and the infrastructure team are still in need of help with developing their infrastructure. So the whole story that we were telling on the value chain corresponds completely with what's happening in the pyramid. But if we are to do value selling as VMware, then we need to have the understanding of who's the customer, why do they exist, and what are their long-term goals, and how does this translate into the current projects inside of the customer. I mean, we could talk to a customer and say, we think you should buy vSAN, but they're not going to spend $1 million with us on vSAN unless there is a blue bubble or there is some kind of business initiative or a critical capability that they need to address. They're not going to buy vSAN because it's fun. They're going to buy vSAN because they need to address some of these things in the pyramid or in the value chain.
So that was the value pyramid. In the next video, we have the exciting finale featuring the value wheel.